I'm about to tell you one of the saddest stories that I have personally ever heard when it comes to a corrupt coin shop taking advantage of somebody who just didn't know what they had and didn't know any better. And this story comes from a friend of mine. I'm not first party to it. I wasn't there. I do know it takes place in St. Louis. I do know the name of the location. I'm not going to say that in this video because, again, I wasn't there to witness this myself. But assuming what he tells me is true, which I do believe it is, this is horrible. And it starts out like this. So this little old lady walks into the shop. She's struggling with this bucket of silver coins. Coins at the time. And one of the employees that works there actually helps this lady bring these coins into the shop. Now, on the other side of the counter from where my friend was, he was admittedly on the other side of the store, but he said they put this bucket up on their counter and they started dumping it out. And he could see from where he was that it was clearly silver coins. Now, he didn't tell me if every single coin in the bucket was silver, but there were definitely silver coins in that bucket. So after a couple of minutes of kind of rifling through the coins, my friend said that after that, they just looked this little old lady in the eye and told her that these coins were just coins, face value, and weren't worth anything other than just to spend them. Then they go on to offer to save her the time and of carrying it around and the weight of carrying it around to spend it or take it to the bank by just counting it there for her and doing her a favor so that she doesn't have to lug all that heavy silver around. Sure enough, this lady agreed, and before you know it, she was walking out with a couple of $100 for, at the time, what was worth easily thousands. And I say that because this happened in 2011, 2012, when silver was trading in the 30s. So that means 90% silver, just the melt value alone, was over $20 per dollar. Now, I'm sure many of you will say that my friend should have stepped up and said something, and I really do agree. But I'm also going to defend him and say that it is very uncomfortable trying to interfere with the business that a shop is doing, especially a coin shop when you're in it. There is something called a coin shop etiquette, but even I agree, and I'm sure he does now as well, thinking back on it, that he probably should have intervened and let her know that those were worth way more than they were giving her. And honestly, between me and you, I think this story is criminal if it is 100% true as he says it is. But either way, this just goes to show you that there are some very bad coin shops out there. Now, that doesn't mean that all coin shops are bad. I'm going to tell you some more stories today that are going to be good ones to show you that not all shops are bad. So stick around for those stories. But I'll say specifically that we have good shops on this channel all the time, like My Night Coin and Bullion, Coin Zone in Muskegon, Michigan, Mid-America Coins, and others that we have had on, including the coin shops that we have called anonymously, that have been very, very good. So it is not all coin shops, but like any business out there, there's always the crooks and the people that give the business a bad name. And I totally understand why I get comments on this channel from people that say coin shops are crooked. It's not all of them, guys. I assure you it's not. I know personally a good 12 coin dealers that all are really good coin dealers. But yes, there are bad ones out there in this business, just like any other. So let's tell you some more of those stories. I actually asked some of my channel members to leave me some of their stories, and there's some others that I have seen on the channel over the last few weeks that I'm going to share with you in today's video. Do me a favor though, don't forget to subscribe and help us continue to grow. SD Bullion is at it again. Last year, they gave away a full monster box of 2022 Silver Eagles. Now this year, they're doing it with a full monster box of 2023s. If you want your chance to win a full sealed monster box of 2023 Silver Eagles, make sure you head over to sdbullion.com/silverseeker or click the link in the description below. Thank you to SD Bullion for sponsoring today's video. All right, so we're going to go ahead and share with you a good story and then another bad story. So if you want to hear another really bad story, stick around. And this is a really long one that comes from a channel member named William Girl. And I had posted to my channel members yesterday to share with me their coin shop stories, good or bad. Now, I'm not going to read the entire story here because it's really long. But what I will do is kind of summarize it for you. And then if you want to pause and read it top to bottom, have at it. But basically, William Girl says that his LCS guy told him this story about what his father had experienced with this little old lady whose husband was storing his silver coins in the gas tank of 5 old cars in the back of their property. So, you know, the husband had passed away and told his wife never to sell these vehicles. Well, the wife, after about 10 years after her husband passed away, got tired of looking at them and decided she would sell them. The guy from the scrapyard came out to hook them up to a tow truck to tow them away, and the gas tank basically tore off of the vehicle when they were loading it onto the tow truck. So when they went to try and pick up the tow truck, or the gas tank, I mean, it was really heavy. They cut into the gas tank and found thousands and thousands of dollars of face value of 90% silver, which they then took into a coin shop who told them the truth about their value, asked them why they smelled like gasoline. And basically the story goes is the old man was storing all of his 90% silver into the gas tank of all of these cars. Now, he says he also has another story about 1 ounce gold Cougarans I would love to hear as well. And he also said this happened in 1982. Again, if you want to read the whole story, go ahead and pause it and take a look. But essentially this story shows a coin shop that was honest with the person and told them, yes, of course we buy silver coins, and they pay them properly for it. Now, going into it, the lady knew that they were silver coins and knew that they had value. But the problem that I have with the story is that, and don't get me wrong, I wasn't there. Maybe it's 100% true. But the problem I have with this story is that, you know, my wife knows that silver, where my coins are. She knows how to access them, and she knows what they're worth. You know, this guy who had been storing all these coins for years, you can't tell me that he didn't tell his wife that they had all this money hidden into the gas tank of old cars in their property. Why wouldn't he tell her so that she would be able to use that money if she needed it after he was gone? I mean, imagine if that in that 10-year period, she really needed money for something and she didn't know that she had the money just sitting on the property. So it doesn't make sense to me why he wouldn't share that information with his wife. I don't get that. But who knows? I mean, you know, I've heard weirder stories that are 100% true. So maybe this is a 100% true story. But yeah, it still doesn't make sense to me. And then additionally, why would you storm in the gas tank of these cars weighing the gas tank down? I mean, those 5 cars literally will never be able to be used, fixed up, and repaired. What's the point of putting them into the gas tank of the cars as well? But even with that, I think the story is more kind of like unbelievable that he didn't tell her at all. Now, the last story I'll share with you comes from a YouTuber named Nurse Numismatic, and I actually met him at the recent Tulsa Coin Show, so a shout out to him. But he says, before I got more actively involved in the coin and stacking community, my mom was looking to sell a roll of ASCs for my grandpa's estate. One shop offered her $100 for the whole roll. Guys, that's $5 per coin. $5 per coin. Thank God she decided to turn that offer down, even though she really didn't even know what they were. $5 per coin for Silver Eagles. Now, keep in mind, I don't know when this is, but I'm assuming it's not very long ago. I mean, even if it were in the last 10 years, that is so far back of spot, even at the lowest point in the last 10 years, that is so far back of spot for a roll of ASCs, it's not even funny. That is a clear example of a bad coin shop. That's an example of a coin shop that is out to take advantage of those that don't know any better. So I said I would share with you some tips, and here's what I'm going to tell you. We're not going to get in big detail here because I've done videos on this before. But the most important thing I can tell you when you walk into any coin shop is to A, tell them you're shopping around, and B, actually do it. So in other words, don't just go into one coin shop and then assume that they're going to give you a good number. Don't just assume because they're dressed well and they talk well and they're well-spoken that they're going to be an honest person. There are a lot of bad coin shops out there, and there's a lot of good coin shops out there. The bad ones will absolutely capitalize and take advantage of people that they know that they can get one over on. And while they may fail every once in a while and lose the business, in other words, you know, someone's like, no way would I sell to you. Enough people do sell to them that it makes it worth their while from a financial standpoint. And obviously, I hope that those people rot in heck. But yes, they absolutely will do it, and they are out there. So do yourselves a favor. Make sure you know what you have before you go into a coin shop. And if you aren't sure, ask a friend that might know something about numismatics or coins. And additionally, tell them you're shopping around and actually do it. Take it to multiple coin shops and make sure. Because when they have 2 coin shops competing against each other, the bad coin shop may actually just give you a decent offer so they don't look really bad when you go elsewhere. You know, they want to save face, and obviously they do want your business as well. So if they know you're just going to go down the street and get an offer from someone else, they might be like, all right, fine, I'll offer you $500 for your roll of Silver Eagles instead of the $100, because they still want to buy them and they still want to make money on them. They just will take advantage when they get that opportunity. So that's what I had for you today, guys. Just kind of a by the fireside, telling some stories. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, do me a favor and leave a comment down below and tell me your coin shop stories, because I would love to hear them. And the next thing that you should do is watch this video right here. It is 5 mistakes that new and seasoned silver stackers make when they get into silver stacking, and you should definitely watch that video so you know the mistakes that you should avoid when you first get into it as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time.